Hey guys, it's smeefu, and welcome back to my bi-weekly series, Nerf or Buff, where I review the new patch, but specifically the changes, whether they're nerfs or buffs, that have been made to your favorite heroes. I'll go in depth on every single change, and also show you them being tested out in the sandbox. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below any video ideas you'd like to see from me, but in the meantime, enjoy the video. Abrams with an overall buff, I would say. They've reverted his melee attack speed reduction. Shoulder charge can now use left and right strafe to slightly change the direction, which means that your overall turn radius is a little bit higher. Shoulder charge now carries momentum at the end of it, so you can slide. Siphon Life Spirit scaling up to 0.4. Infernal Resilience damage regen down from 15 to 14%, and the T3 from 8% to 7%, and the duration of that is from 18 seconds to 20 seconds. And they fixed an issue where seismic impact would travel more downwards instead of in the facing direction. Bebop with an overall buff again, I would say. Sticky Bomb damage gained per hero impact increased from 1% to 1.5%, but the Sticky Bomb damage gained per hero kill reduced from 5% to 4%. The T3 on Sticky Bomb changed from a disarm to a minus 30% damage penalty for 5 seconds, similar to Inhibitor. Sticky Bomb now calculates its damage at detonation time rather than cast time, so it will take advantage of things like Mystic Vulnerability more consistently. Sticky Bomb now has a 2x cast range when used on allies. Hook damage reduced from 40 to 10, but the spirit damage scaling has been increased by 2x. Hyper Beam now goes on cooldown for 3 seconds when cancelling during precast. Dynamo with a slight buff here. Again, he now gains 1% bullet resist per boon, going up to 15%, as you can see in game. Fixed quantum entanglement, sometimes not moving you to destination properly, which would happen when doing it around corners like this. Now it seems to work perfect even if you go through a wall, basically. Singularity now deals 1.5% max HP damage in the base ability, which I believe it didn't do before. The base DPS reduced from 60 to 45, but T3 also increased from 3.8% to 4%, so overall more damage on Singularity. Grey Talon with a definite nerf this patch. Much needed as well. Base bullet damage reduced from 27 to 24. Bullet damage growth has been put back in line though. You'll get more bullet damage per level, so at late game it's the same base damage as it used to be. The fall off range on bullets has been increased so that you start losing damage earlier at shorter ranges. Rain of Arrows strafe distance with stamina reduced by 30%. And charged shot hitbox size reduced by 20%. Now, I was testing this here and I found some weird bugs. It seems when your camera is against the wall or it just offset by anything at all, it doesn't register the charge shot coming from the actual place it should be. So I obviously should be hitting Infernus here. I'm shooting right through him, but I'm not. And I thought that was because of the change, but it's not. It's actually to do with my camera. So I don't know if this is new. I think it is because I've been playing Grey Talon. I never experienced this before. Hopefully they fix this, because if they don't, it's obviously a huge Grey Talon nerf. You can't even use his one indoors. But yeah, that's it for Grey Talon changes this patch. Haze with a definite nerf here. Bullet Dance no longer hits 2 targets. So per shot with Ricochet even, you're only going to be able to hit 3 targets max per shot, which is a huge nerf to her all in late game and mid game. Bullet Dance now grants plus 30% fire rate, so it does more DPS. Bullet Dance now allows you to use items during it, which looks funny. You can warp stone, as you see here. Sleep Dagger T3 now causes targets to wake up with minus 40% fire rate. Overall nerf for sure. Infernus with yet another nerf. Free up my boy, he doesn't deserve this. Catalyst slow reduced from 40% to 35%, not a big deal at all. However, Afterburn buildup has again been reduced for normal body shots and headshots. It says it's 9% per body shot, but that is not true because that would take 12 bullets to build it up, right? But it's actually taking me 14 shots in this clip, and it's taking me 10 shots on the head. So these numbers are not accurate. Big nerf. Ivy has not had too much change this patch. They've only touched her 2, Watcher's Covenant. The fire rate spirit scaling on Watcher's Covenant has increased from 0.2 to 0.3, and Watcher's Covenant bullet lifesteal spirit scaling increased from 0.2 to 0.3. So if I lower my health here, you'll see with only Boundless Spirit, I'm getting quite a lot of healing and quite a lot of fire rate. Lash with a buff here for sure. Ground Strike now pulls enemies to the ground, similar to what they did with Stoneform recently. You see here, RKO out of nowhere, straight on Vindicta, down to the floor. Ground Strike can now be cast while on the zip line, so you don't have to awkwardly jump off for no reason when you're trying to go to the floor anyway, which feels pretty nice, and it looks pretty cool too. And they have fixed an interaction between Mirage's Tornado and Lash's ult, so definitely an overall buff. McGinnis hitting the nerfs as she needed. Her turret's DPS reduced from 60 to 40. That's a very, very big nerf, 30% damage nerf. And the health reduced from 20% of your max HP to 15%. Mirage catching a slight nerf as well. Bullet size reduced from 6 to 5. Tornado speed reduced from 20 meters to 18 meters, though in this clip it still says 20 meters, so I'm not sure if that's visual or if they just messed up the patch again, but we'll see. Tornado lift duration reduced from 1.1 seconds to 1 second at base, and Fire Scarab's T2 reduced from minus 15% extra bullet resist to minus 10%, so going to be a total of minus 20% bullet resist now on the ability. 100% a nerf, doesn't feel too great for Mirage, but he's still strong for sure. Paradox has had her bullet velocity increased pretty substantially from 411 to 525. Time Wall, though, no longer has charges. It's no longer a charged ability. You can't even buy extra charge or rapid recharge on the hero anymore. Big nerf to the wall playstyle of Paradox. It also no longer deals 10% max health damage until you get the T2 upgrade. Cooldown reduced from 37 seconds to 25 seconds since it has no charges. Kinetic Carbine max damage amp has been increased though from 85% to 100%. So you're going to do more damage with Kinetic Carbine. The weird change though is that Paradoxical Swap, time to complete the swap has been reduced pretty heavily, variable based on distance. So you see here if I swap Infernus from far away, that is way faster than it used to be, which is definitely a nerf because people would die during the swap very, very often, and now they won't. Pocket with some tiny buffs here. Barrage Spirit Scaling increased from 0.4 to 0.5, and light melee damage increased from 63 to 75. Even though it's not working in this clip, I'm sure they'll fix it. Vindicta finally getting another nerf. Base bullet damage reduced from 15 to 13, but the bullet damage growth has been pulled in line, so she'll get the same damage late game as she used to have. Stake duration increased from 1.75 seconds to 2 seconds. Flight T2 reduced from plus 8 seconds duration to plus 6 seconds duration. Crow Familiar tick rate changed from every 0.5 seconds to every 1 second. Now, I haven't actually tested if that is going to affect the damage it's doing, but I don't think it will. Maybe it's half the damage now, since it's going to proc half, but I would have assumed they doubled the damage of the ticks. I'm not too sure how that works. Someone let me know. Assassinate now starts at 25% power as soon as you scope in, rather than 50%, which is a pretty big nerf. You're not going to be able to quick scope snipe people anymore. It's going to do very, very low damage. You'll see here I'm showing that if you quick scope, it's 116, 110 area, and with a full scope, it's 350. I can't believe I'm saying it, but Viscous is getting buffed. The cube health regen now scales with spirit power at 0.2. So you're going to be healing a lot more late game with the cube, especially if you're going to spirit build, obviously. Goo Ball dash down ability moved from T3 to the base ability, so you can always dash down now. Now, the weird thing that really confuses me, I don't know why they've done this, is that the Goo Ball's size now increases with range upgrades and doesn't affect collision with the world. So it makes it no harder for Viscous to move around, but it makes it a lot harder for you to deal with Viscous being in the game when he's on the enemy team. This is disgusting, and I'm not looking forward to playing against this. Absolutely horrible. I have no idea why they've done this. Please explain. Warden now starts with 1 sprint. I'm going to help him get from lane to lane a bit faster, move around the map a bit faster. Kind of nice. His bullet velocity also increased from 213 to 290, which is also nice. Last Stand, though, now goes on cooldown. If you die, all the ability is interrupted while cast. So, you know, if you're using this properly and not when you're about to die, I would count this patch as an overall buff, as Last Stand now gives plus 50% spirit resist, even though it doesn't give unstoppable on the T3. The plus 50% spirit resist during the cast is great, though. I think it's an overall buff for Warden. Wraith with some slight nerfs here. telekinesis cast time increased from 0.6 to 0.7, so you now have an extra 0.1 seconds to react and press ethereal shift or something to dodge this ability. And the damage has been reduced from 200 to 175 at the base. So yeah, just more small nerfs for Wraith. So Yamato with a weird patch. Just so I don't say the word shadow transformation every single time, know that all of these changes for Yamato this patch are to do with shadow transformation. So during the ability, the grapple time speed is much faster. They've increased the duration from 4 seconds to 6 seconds at base. It no longer prevents death, though it does give her 60% bullet and spirit resist. Now heals her for 30% HP upon cast of the ability. Shadow transformation duration now extends by 2 seconds whenever you get a kill. So you're not invincible anymore, but you're still unstoppable, and kills extend it. So guys, I've been smeefu. Thank you for watching episode 5 of the patch review. I will have a tier list coming out soon. I think a lot of the changes in this patch are very interesting, especially Yamato. I can't wait to see how she plays and if she's useless now. It can go one or two ways, you know, maybe she's super OP because of these resistance changes. Maybe she's awful because she's no longer invincible. Anyway, thank you for watching and goodbye.